How's it going, everybody? GodBaer here. Once again, thank you for clicking into one of my videos. We are back on our Rams online franchise. Right now I'm showing you guys two CPU games that I played, and then we're going to go ahead and get into this game right here against the 10-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You of course know that we are the 12-1 St. Louis Rams. We get to start off this game with the ball, and you know we always give it to Todd Gurley because just like in real life, this man is a monster. He's been our workhorse all season long, and we're gonna try to rush for 2,000 yards with this man, and only time can tell. And we also got a lot of speed out there in our receiver core, and it helps to have that when your opponent run commits right here, because Desmond Lewis was streaked after the run commit, and he goes ahead and gets us into the end zone for our first score of the game. And now we got to try to stop our opponent, because that's always the objective when you're out on defense. Get him to punt or get a turnover or get whatever you can, just get the ball back to your offense. And then luckily, these Tampa Bay Buccaneers got some big old body wide receivers, but he was unable to hold on to the ball right there. So we get it back to our offense, running with Todd Gurley once again. And then this man can also catch the ball from a screen, so we go ahead and get it to Todd Gurley once again. We are inside our opponent's territory. 1st and 10, giving it down to Todd Gurley once again. He's got 4 rushes for 30 yards, and we're happy to have this man. Right now we're going to go ahead and get Paul Richardson from the Seattle Seahawks, and I just finished watching the Carolina versus Seattle Seahawks game, and I guess I'm a Seahawks fan, for those of you that don't know or that are not subscribed, as we get Todd Gurley out on a flat route and get into the end zone for our second score of the game. But the only good aspect of that game, from being a Seahawks fan, is we shut out the Carolina Panthers in the second half, just like they did us in the first half. But the only bad thing is the Carolina Panthers ended up scoring more points when they shut us in the first half than we did scoring points in the second half than from shutting them out. So we are kicked out of the postseason. And there's one of two things I hope that happen. Obviously, being a Seahawks fan, I'm in the NFC. I'm hoping an NFC team wins the playoffs, especially if those stupid Patriots make it. I hope they lose. But regardless, though, I hope no AFC team wins. I hope the Super Bowl stays in the NFC. And I hope... Okay, these are the two things I hope happens. The Carolina Panthers, I hope they win purely because they beat us and knocked us out of the playoffs. Or the Arizona Cardinals. I would hate for an NFC West team, other than the Seattle Seahawks, to win the Super Bowl, but I would love to see Larry Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer get their first ever Super Bowl ring, because obviously, they're aging. I don't know if they'll have another shot before they retire, and I would love to see, especially Larry Fitzgerald. He's been on that Arizona Cardinals team his entire career. As my opponent run commits once again, and for the second time in this video, when you run commit, we got Desmond Lewis, who's most likely on a streak all game long because he's 6'4", and if he beats the press or if you got one safety deep, I'm gonna test you. And if you run commit, it's just a God-given touchdown. As right here, we do get a nice little interception with Mark Barron. That penalty was a holding penalty from my opponent. So yeah, unfortunately, Seattle Seahawks kicked out of the postseason, which is a bummer because now I got nobody to really root for the last little bit, and it's a heartbreak to see your home team, lose, and I'm bitter about it, just because how that first half went. I literally was just like, my heart sunk, and there was no way we were gonna win, but at least it came down to an onside kick, and unfortunately, we were unable to recover it. But football's football. You can't win them all, so hopefully, we'll draft somebody good like we have been doing. We've had some fantastic late round picks, especially even second round picks like Tyler Lockett. That man has been phenomenal for us. He really showcased what he could truly do this game, and apparently it just wasn't enough for us, as Mark Barron's gonna go ahead and get another interception for us. And this man on our St. Louis Rams team has been phenomenal. That is 4 interceptions in, I guess, the last 2 videos you guys saw. Technically it's 4 games, because the last episode, I believe, which was against the Bengals, you saw that Mark Barron got 2 interceptions, and then there was 2 CPU teams, and then this one, which was the second video you guys see, but technically the 4th game in this season, he gets 2 interceptions. But you saw that my opponent ran commit once again, and Desmond Lewis, like I said earlier, usually always on a streak, so the safety did play a lot better, and he was able to tackle Desmond Lewis after the catch. But Desmond Lewis having a phenomenal game as he once again catches another pass, this one not off a streak on a run commit. But we are trying to kill as much clock as we possibly can, which is great for having Todd Gurley as Jared Cook trying to get down to the end zone, tackle down at the 3-yard line. We have only thrown 2 incomplete passes at this point as Todd Gurley punches this one in and puts this game out of reach for my opponent. We are up by 28 points as Robert Quinn gets the sack fumble, and then William Hayes picks it up and runs it in for the touchdown. And now this is just a complete blowout. And there is going to be no way in hell I'm going to give up 35 plus points and lose this game. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I expect from my, not expect, my hopes for the Seattle Seahawks this next season. Obviously, I was hoping that we could get a dynasty this season. Well, and next season we would have to win the Super Bowl as well to get that actual dynasty. But I'm hoping that we draft some dang offensive linemen, because these Carolina Panthers tore us up today, and it was rough to see. Like, Russell Wilson's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've seen. I might be biased, but he's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen about avoiding contact. Anytime he does get rushed, he's able to spin away from contact. He's able to scramble away, avoid getting sacked, or throw the ball away. He's very conservative with the ball when he does choose to throw it. As right here, Jameis Winston just throwing dots out there, and those big body receivers just catching the ball over my players. And yeah, offensive lineman, I'm definitely hoping the Seattle Seahawks get. Other than that, maybe another big-bodied wide receiver so Jermaine Kearse doesn't have to, do everything himself. He's definitely been producing lately, but, Jermaine Kearse, just in case he gets injured, or, just to get, the double coverage off that man when it truly counts, like third downs and red zone possessions. Got to get another big body out there, but other than that, though, we're going to go ahead and jump back into this game, which you see we do got the ball back on offense. We're going to try to kill this clock right here, trying to find somebody. We're going to try to throw this one to triangle up there, but I don't know what really happened there, because we kind of walked into our own offensive lineman and it ended up just throwing that one straight to the grass. But luckily there was no one in the area of that grass that happened to throw the ball to from the defensive side of the ball. And then one last play for my opponent. He's going to chuck it deep, and TJ McDonald's going to go ahead and just stonehand that one and drop it. But we do come away with a victory. We improved to 13-1 on the season. We win 38-10, and we played near perfect football this game. Our first punt didn't come until the 4th quarter, so that every single drive we had, as you probably hear some puppies in the background, so I apologize for that. I got a 4-month-old that tries to play with the 15-year-old dog that I got, and the 4-month-old dog is actually bigger, probably 3 times bigger than the 15-year-old dog. But yeah, we had a 158.3 QBR, which is a perfect quarterback rating. Todd Gurley back to his 100 rushing yards every game. Desmond Lewis, 4 catches, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Todd Gurley with our other receiving touchdown. Defense, he of course had the most tackles. That pretty much always happens every single game I had. We are not on offense that often, or actually, I take that back. We're actually on defense a lot more often. I don't know how we don't get more tackles than our opponents, but I guess it's okay. And then William Hayes with the touchdown. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, you guys probably enjoyed the Seattle Seahawks second half. If you guys enjoyed watching that game, obviously, they tried to do whatever they could about coming back in that game. It ended up being a good game. Everybody was talking about being a blowout, and how the other playoff games from the division round were, super close and everything, and this one was a bummer to watch, and that stupid commentator said that it was over already. But here are 2 more videos for you guys, and hope you enjoyed. Until next time, everybody, GodBaer out.